Devil May Cry, more like Devil May Die. This room, this heckin' frickin' room, or an image of it at least. Here it is in HD. Wow. And here it is in motion. Ooh. From footage of me playing the game that I love, DMC2. It's not generally the most well-liked game, I'll be honest. Had a bit of a trouble development with director switch up and direction changes and blah 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 blah, you heard it all before. Look, the gist of it is that it ended up less like the first and later third and burst onto the scene as a lean, mean, long-standing lineage of Japanese meathead shooters machine with a hint of Muso mindlessicity thrown on in there too for good measure. With said dueling lineages springing up not from the nut that doom bust or the root what one sprung, but instead foregoing aiming or reloading or dodging or blocking or complicated movesets with hella intricacies by being quite akin to the side-scrolling of decades shooted past, i.e. pure power fantasies with dumb loud explosions, button mashy or wholly repetitive arcade action and nay a care in the world for fuck all else, really. And these are generally well-liked games, I find. Mainly cause folks ain't out here holding a dynasty to the standees of a God Hand or a EDF or Bullet Witch to the expectations of a Quake or CSGO, as it's understood that these are very different things, surface level engagements be damned. However, here be the tea. DMC2 crossed those streams. Whether intentionally or not, spiritually it did by being a Gungrave type game, a dick and balls bustler muscler 5000, playing in a skill-based field aka the rest of its series, and got dicked on for it. And I get that. I understand the perspective, but it's not one that I share. I came from the stupid shit first and foremost, you see. Born into the trash. Molded by it. Like in terms of action games, I'd take a 10,000 bullets over a Devil May 3 any day, which is not me saying that it's better. I don't give a shit about that, but it's just like my tastes, right? Because DMC3 is hard. Hence why, when I played 2 for the first time many years ago, I did not see any problems with it. I pushed the buttons and cool stuff happened, just like Dynasty Warriors or Gunstar Heroes, and so that's the view I'd like to skew this game on through. Besides, who wants to hear more boring-ass DMC2 is bad videos? That's been done, been, and has been so been done and dusted that it belongs in the bin. We're cooler than that. You're cooler than that. Hey Dante, am I right or what? Dante? Now, before you go and question my PS2 Edge game credentials, let it be known that I own not one, but 2 Dirge of Cerberus keychains. So, yeah. I know what I'm talking about here, okay? I filmed that shit on a goddamn camcorder, so you know it's true. And thus, equally, I think I can say with at least some authority that if zombie tanks are such a bad idea, then why did Death Stranding copy them? Never give up! Also, something about the infested chopper skunk crashing down and then being hit with a still image title card of it fully in penis mode fucking hits the shit if you ask me. This is because, in my opinion, Devilman 2 is a stylish fucking beast. Right up there with the titular Dirge of Cerebusi or Chaos Legion or Nano Breaker as a certified P-ass, 2-ass, edgy, cool game. You could say this about the whole series, certainly, but I'd argue that for 2, the aesthetics overall were a bigger priority than in any of the others, and secondly, it has what is, in my opinion, still the coolest Dante design with all the fashion collabs to prove it. Besides, there's such rock-solid cohesion in its presentation in general. Like, schmuck these fucking title cards, dog. damn, with those resi-core Spectrasonic sample pack drag and drops that I love, the edgelord fonts fawning over fucking poetry quotes made up for the game, the deep yet vibrant blood red on transparency layered FMV film effectively cycling in the back, always paired up with a sleekly positioned render and the map of Aventura. That's so good. On some 2000s gagged era shit, emo music video type beat, gory, needlessly violent, boobulated anime of the era level stuff. It also, in general, taps into that earthy, religious imagery influenced, haphazardly appropriated voodoo vibesy nu metal alt-rock wave of the time, as the OST cover art proudly displays. But also, there's Moskian vibes, there's heavy use of sand and mind-boggling effects. And man, these heckin' orb screens are for real. So be text on deck with jittering film effects, picking up keys has never looked this cool. Specifically here in HD, the title cards are still 4x3, and so you get this really dope framing that, whether intentionally or not, adds hella stylistic flair with wee elements like Dante poking out and whatnot. Regardless, yeah, I think this emo nu metal Sobi style is such a great vibe for it to capture, as it's a pretty rare one as far as games go. Aside from like Akuji the Heartless,
it's tail time,
or Shadow Man, or sorta Shadow Tower Evergrace, maybe? Its own sequel kinda does continue it as well, but in a overall messier manner. Dog dank DVD menus looking title screen, non-animated title cards, and more sleazy urban dingy grit a la Blade movies or Duke Nukem games, which 4 and 5 would carry on to ever more Monster Energy canny and gaudy degrees, glowingly positive connotation. Though, man, it honestly fucks me up that I won't ever be able to drink the Gex milk.
it's tail time.
Let's rock, baby.
Bouncer.
Now, I enjoy the rest of this series a ton as well, I should say, but it's maybe more so despite how hard and complex it is, rather than because. Thing is, my reasons for digging 2 are actually distinctly to do specifically with how it crosses the streams of prior mentions and how this results in a weaving of style and gameplay different from the rest. Let's look at Gungrave again as an example. Fun game, but at the end of the day, you do be simply going square, 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 square the entire time and nothing much else. This is due to your range of expression, far as potential inputs go, being rather limited. Contrast that with Dante, who's wall running, twirling, moonfuck double jumping, suspending himself by shooting or slashing in midair, slamming down with a slash. It's also cock Vanderdick for no fucking reason. And yeah, this is all stuff the rest of the series does too, but you don't have to try to do any of it in this here case. It's not difficult, that I ain't gonna learn nothing, it's all just there. Which brings me to my point that Devil May Cry 2 is a game in which it is very easy to look very cool with zero effort. Whether or not, if anything, encourages one to do so, I don't care. Nothing encouraged me to make videos or music either, and I still did it because I wanted to, because I'm not a boring bitch with no imagination. So, heck yeah, I'm gonna wall run, double jump just to stylishly shoot at the train gorilla while the camera shits itself. Oh, yeah, I do get it. One could very well argue that standing on a ledge blindly auto-lock shooting at off-camera enemies is either boring or dumb, but I don't know, it seems pretty fucking baller to me. Like, it's hard as fuck. Devil May Care attitude on a power fantasy sort of thing. I don't need to block or dodge shit. I ain't no bitch. I take those hits, I shrug them off and slash a bitch to shit because they can't even hurt me. Which is exactly why the crossing of the dumb and technical action game streams is deeply integral to why I mess with DMC2 instead of it being the down and dirty detriment it is to many a Devil May Cry-oid. Just leave me to strut about these incredibly cool environments that I love like a grimdark emo badass. And I mean, shout out this first level and its chunky, dusty castle textures bathed in a sunset spewing out from a tumultuous, biblically apocalyptic sky. Looking like the castle out of Haunting Ground or RE4, but trapped inside a sunny Mediterranean stasis. The camera angles do so much here, honestly. Pulling hella pull zooms to scale up bigness or tracking ventures ever narrower and narrower down dilapidated walkways, framing the wee steeple making it look smallated only to then dramatically cut from a embiggening below upon enter. The scale, the wind, the sky, the colors, the dust, the atmosphere, the silhouetted pointy town off in the distance. It's also well planned and choreographed. It's fucking unreal. It's your own little scene to act out, basically. It's also raw as fuck how the enemies are hung up suspended in gibbet cages, swaying in the wind before then coming to life, only to then be resuspended by me and my big dumbass stupid guns. Which I find so endlessly entertaining, part and partial because of how loud it is to boot. Kinesthetically, I dig all the sound effects we have here. The rattlings, the crunchy crispy, the roof tiles sounding almost as if bones are rattling. Or the casings clattering as the music clears away. Though that in particular, to me, has airs of this loud barrage of gunfire being only a temporary deafening of the lifeless sadness. The only sounds to fill these streets in maybe decades. A bit of the old Dante flaring up temporarily. As, yeah, he's not the same funny, cocky guy, isn't he? 2 is the furthest set in the timeline, I believe, and you can really tell that he's been through it at this point and knows that there's even more to go through in future, too. Which is a cool contrast in context, far as I'm concerned. Like, wow, what the fuck happened to this guy? It feels bad. Coats the entire experience in this MGS5ian stoic, twisted unfamiliarity. Set within this tainted, long-since rotted-out world with our protag mirroring the vibes. It is, dare I say it, FromSoft-esque in its tone and attitude. This ain't Devil May Cry anymore, it's Devil May Care, only now flipped up on a different tip, being a tired one. Too tired to stunt on bitches or quip around, just shoot gun, walk, and shut up. DMC2 Dante is the hollow desperado. Walking down a ridge along the canal not to find extras or goodies or a destination, but instead solely only a camera pan showing off the dramatic nothingness that's left of this here town. What a dope town it is all the same. With the windy roads and streets, lampposts bent, crinkled wires spider webbing across, and rooftops and towers angulated hellily. It's almost Tim Burton-y. Very, very goth. Which is due to this being a Sophistifuture game, of course. I've manifestoed this stuff before in the following videos, so I won't do it again, but TLDR, it basically means gothic religious themings mixings with low-key futury, but not too futury Tokyo vibes. Final Fantasy XIII Versus is the peak, Tekken 2's intro is the potential origin point, and DMC2 is the DMC2 of DMC's dude. See, it's not just about demons, it's about this big old money tower demon corporation run by the titular Dr. Schmoke. With money having sucked the world dry as its metropoli are left scant with streets only roamed by sentient, corrupted, demonic versions of weapons of proxy wars waged past. Well, one of the big corpo skyscrapers straight up comes to life at one point. You can call it goofy, but I legit think it's pretty poignant for what it is, and also, I just adore it aesthetically. Once more, the zooms, the pulls, the B-dubsian breadth of this shit. Every jump, every corner, every turn, dramatized to emphasize the scale of the corporate oppressiveness of these towers shrouded in shadow. I'm a huge fan of these long walks where fuck all happens naturally as well, as they're so scathingly liminal, always highlighting the smallness of our daunt in the face of the feels that the bigwigs at the top are forever watching. Its extremities reach the sky. Its intestines reflect the color of darkness. Its name means a tower of misery. Karl Marx. This is also, of course, where you fight the infamous infested chopper. Whenever this is in vids, worst creators only show the climax where all one can really do is shoot at it, but I find that a little disingenuous, because it's like this whole entire multi-part set piece. With a little bit of neat urban platforming, cute fire escapes, building, hopping, and scaling, and a lot of dope aesthetics and vibes unique to this one little moment. Besides, that shit is funny as fuck. I like the excess, the maximalist comedy of it. Same way I scream, "Let's fucking go!" at the amazing boat fight frames of Drakengard 3, another one of my favorite action games. I too sit here in glee with a big dumb grin on my face, gun-nutting slugs by the billions. Controller started vibrating and he fucking jumped up. It was the funniest fucking shit. Aw. It's okay. Oh. It's just cutscenes. It's just cutscenes. Also, fuck it. I just like how the combat feels. I don't know what else to tell you. It's heavy and beefy and loud and flashy and meaty blunt force trauma as heck. In the lab, when I accidentally re-triggered the entirety of a fight sequence, because the game do be a little stanky on the programming side of things, let's be real, I did not mind at all. In fact, the only thing I felt was, ooh, yeah, hell yeah, more cannon fodder. Jumping my ass off a railing while shooting and jumping down with a sword strike to fuck up the crowd below as the funny little encouragement text ensured me that I was doing a great job. And in that, I think it's both worth pointing out how, overall, design and pacing-wise, 2 did move the series forward toward the more action, straight-up format 3 would use and refine, continuing its rapid-fire shooting, the quick ease of movement, juggling, double jumping, and relative linearity, and how it also maintains the resident evility the series would lose, especially 4 onward. Thing is, its predecessor, much like Onimusha or Dino Crisis 2, is very much just a more action-y Resident Evil game. The castle, the puzzles, the vibe, the stiffness, the music, it's all hand-me-down, and so I adore that 2 too has shit like the Resi Lab or the RE4 Haunting Groundy Castle, being that it allows it to flip the proverbial script by playing much more loosely than any of the Resi games would or could. Like, sure, yeah, there's 1 or 2 keys in the whole game, but otherwise you move through these Resi levels like a blazing fucking asshole, sliding down pipes and riding motorcycles and big dick jumping and shooting with nay a time for puzzle time. It's root sticky enough to end the lap with a sneaky cheeky escape sequence, but not to the point of where one can't just spam fuck Buck Wildfire, the rocket launcher you find here ad nauseum with 0 restrictions. Not to mention that the villains' evil business is also called Ouroboros. Yes. Smoke. And then, of course, finally we get to the best place in the whole damn game. My favorite room. Right up there with my favorite hallway. And my favorite AC. Yakuza AC in the DMC room. Which is actually a full level, not just a room. And to those unfamiliar, it's actually just mosque aesthetics, really. The big crystals, orange, beige, blue, turquoise. The door shapes really give it away too. It's just how the textures are wrapped and applied, being brazenly dropped onto the pillars, and how big they're stretched to is quite the sight to behold. Anyway, this level owns, has some dope aquatic vibes on the OST with those classic spectrosonic drum loops. And orange and blue is always a pleasant contrast. Love the deep engravings on the stairs as well. Like everything else, it's all very large and cavernous, but will eventually slowly give way to a bizarre mix of culture-style tomb of goofy, gamey traps, Matryoshka dolls, Egyptian hieroglyphs, mandalas, seals, dusty yet fancy red carpets, and this Strider fucking bullshit that's damn near unplayable but really funny. And actually small cramped areas. Yeah, rare tiny space. This game has range for days. And as I talked about 2 vids ago, I value environmental variety a whole damn lot. Like, I don't mean this to talk shit, but DMC 1 and 3 do be kinda taking place in the same zone for their entire runtimes. Which is fine for what those games try to do and convey, but I'm a sucker for adventures. And that is what 2 is. A cool cross-continental journey as the map blips upon title cards highlight every level. Going from the European town with its cozy tiny docks to the big American city and its oil rig mega lab, ending up eventually tomb raiding and body horror gore dungeoning. Which is why I can confidently say that DMC2 is my favorite of the franchise. Yeah, fucked up, I know. I didn't make this to convince anyone of anything. I'm not interested in discourse. I don't give a shit. I'm just like expressing myself and stuff. Let a bitch have some fun, okay? Although, on the other hand, Death Stranding did copy the zombie tanks, and Final Fantasy 13-2 references the skyscraper demon, and SMT3 has this game's Dante in it. So, it's pretty clear to me that the whole entire game industry agrees that this is actually, factually, the best Devil May Cry game. No, you can't get mad at me now. This music is way too friendly sounding. Look at the funny Pikachu. Yeah, see? Thought so, motherfuckers. Anyway, peace!